Hi, everybody. Today, our special guest is Misha Janice from Florida. Hi, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Judy. This is so exciting.
Yeah, so some people know you as the YouTuber who went into Charlie Adelson's Tortugas Lane house. So thank you
Indeed.
so much for that video. So,
Indeed. That was so much fun to do. I mean,
mhm.
who doesn't love a good open house, right? And one of such, notoriety. I couldn't resist.
So how did you know about it?
I had looked up the address once before, and it actually so happened I realized that it was in the same neighborhood as a house that I was going to already for a Bible study that I was going to. It was a few streets away. So I was like, oh, I'd like to see this. All those houses are on the waterway. Some of them are beautiful houses, others are not so updated. But I wanted to see what this one was like. So
Mhm.
just went over there when I saw that there was an open house.
Okay, so what was it like when you got there?
When I got there, nobody was there yet. I got there at the precise time that it was opening. So the realtor was still kind of running around trying to get things done, I guess. So I got in there. I went in there first, and I went with my husband and my son as well. And soon after, another young couple showed up, and they talked to the realtor for a bit, which gave me an opportunity to walk around and, do some filming. It was, it was kind of surreal being in there and just thinking through, what have these walls seen?
Yeah. Well, I do have to correct myself because I constantly said that I thought Charlie was
Was
arrested
arrested
there.
there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but Katie Cool Lady did a reading of part of Extreme Punishment, which is Stephen
Yes.
Epstein's book. So that's on the society page. So apparently he was arrested at Quail Harbor. So
Yes, I noted that as
yeah.
well. I did note that as well. So
Yeah.
for everybody thinking that he was arrested at Tortugas Lane, he was not, apparently. Apparently he was arrested at the other property, which is only a street away.
Yeah, it's all pretty close. So I'm kind of guessing that maybe his child and his child's mom were living at Tortugas Lane because the car seat was there.
I mean, I don't know.
Who knows?
I honestly don't know. I
Okay.
feel like some of the information that I'm getting is from YouTube comments. Some of it, I just don't know how, verifiable it is. But yes, there was a child seat in the property, which was very strange and just out of place. It was there in the main bedroom, just sitting there collecting dust. And it was just weird to see that there.
Yeah. Did you notice the kind of dirty cushions outside?
They were terrible. They were
Mm.
terrible. And I asked the realtor, about the upkeep of the property. And I think he had said that there had been people out to, pressure wash months before, but they hadn't come back. I don't know. The property was not being uh, taken care of properly. Um, the grounds outside needed to be sealed. So whoever's going to acquire the property, they're going to have a bit of work to do, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, so what made you decide to do YouTube?
Good question. I wonder that myself sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
because you're an attorney. You're
I
busy.
am.
Yeah.
I am an attorney, and I don't know. I guess the YouTube bug just got me. I am naturally a creative person, so after years of watching YouTube videos on all types of topics, I was like, I think I could do this. I think I can do this, and I think I can, maybe do a pretty good job at it. So it was kind of like a crapshoot. I was just like, let me try this out and see what happens. and see if I can make something of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed you have a new video about Donna.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I haven't watched it yet, but what's it about?
What is it about? Okay, so the backdrop of it is classical music, right? So I use different classical pieces and set those as the backdrop of different people speaking about Donna, who she is, what kind of person she is. So I have, Wendy speaking from her short story podcast, and I have Rashbaum speaking from his interview, and then I have video of Donna herself, the arrest, of course, and some hot mic and testimony that was taken from court, from Wendy and from a little bit of Katie, just putting information together to see, like, who is this person really? Because Wendy seems to think, she's great, and Dan seems to think that she's wonderful, but there's all this other evidence showing otherwise. So I was really just putting together, the contradictions, and leaving it up to the viewer to see, what they felt about it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I've actually heard from some people who knew her from different parts of life, and they said she did a good job of pretending to be like this sweet, nice,
Right.
wonderful person, but they also did see some bad sides of her, that she liked to lie to people a lot. She could smile at you while lying to your face. Just a really phony type of person who could be mean.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah. So anyway, those are the types of people who aren't going to go on YouTube, though. They don't want to talk.
You have to be careful of those types. They're the kind that will smile in your face and, talk about you behind your back, perhaps. And one of the comments that I read on another video, it wasn't one of my videos, I don't think, was in regards to Rashbaum saying how wonderful of a person she is. And the commenter was basically like, well, did she ever want to kill you? Perhaps she's wonderful to you, but if you get on her bad side, watch out, watch your back. And if he's never experienced that side of her, then he wouldn't know. He wouldn't know.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I remember the friend, Dan Markel's friend, Tamara, said that Dan thought that his in-laws were pretty nice and seemed to like him, but then suddenly they just switched when they separated. Then they took Wendy's side. Then they totally treated him like trash. So it was very jarring, I think.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I don't know, did Donna have anything to do with the wedding incident and the food at the wedding?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think that was all her fault. Yeah.
So, I mean,
she was in charge.
Yeah, it's like, where does that come from to be so disrespectful at the beginning of their marriage?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we sold this as a reacting to Katie's Proffer Part 2. So I have to give big thanks to Deep Dive True Crime, who gave permission for us to react to this. And the revenue, whatever paltry revenue I get from this, is going to be shared with James, mentor lawyer, since he does have to spend his own time and money to get these things. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, thank you for being here. As you guys know, I'm having voice troubles, gotta see a doctor again today. So I'm so glad Misha is here to help bail me out. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and start. Hope it works.
So this is the second time she made a proffer, right?
Yes, because she already did one, which was pretty useless.
No, I'm just grabbing that.
Can you hear it?
I can.
Okay, great.
shackled the whole time too?
Yes. I believe that's kind of a policy thing for your hair. Shackled, right? You have to stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jail.
Yeah. Because you're at the courthouse versus being like in a secure facility. Okay, so we're here because your lawyer reached out to us and said that he spoke with you after the last time the three of us came down to Ocala and spoke with you, and that you had some more information or really wanted to come off everything and kind of lay it all out there. Is that what happened?
Not quite. I don't know.
Okay. Tell me what happened. What your understanding of coming back up here was.
That you guys wanted to talk more about, I guess, the situation or the interview.
Okay. You know, when we left that interview, you were still holding back some stuff. Remember, you and I kind of had that understanding. Yeah. You were still kind of uneasy and holding back, right?
I mean, not necessarily holding back, but I'm just having a really difficult time trying to remember everything that's happened and how it's happened. Like, remember I told you that it's very difficult for me to kind of separate from what I've learned to everything that, like, you know, what we've discussed.
Right. Like what you learned in the trial versus everything that.
Because it goes hand in hand. And I know you guys try to tell me, like, not to try to separate the situation, but how can I not? It makes sense with certain things that's happened because of what I've learned from the trial.
Okay. So when we left, you and your attorney had a conversation and he reached out to us saying to do another interview. I mean, do you mind telling us kind of what your conversation was? I'm not trying to anything privileged, but as far as like what made the decision for him to reach out for us to come back and talk with you.
I'm actually kind of lost about that. Yeah, because it wasn't, I spoke to Tara about it.
Okay.
And I don't know if like she relayed anything to Chris.
Okay.
But I haven't spoken to Chris.
You haven't spoken to Chris. No. It was just Tara that you spoke to?
Yes.
Okay. And when you spoke with Tara, did you had come off of any information or did y'all have a conversation about maybe remembering some more stuff?
It was not even like about remembering. It's just that like I said, you know, like when you guys had left from our initial interview, like you guys wanted me to remember things. And I told her, I was like, it's very difficult because it's like, I don't remember a lot of things. And I did mention to her that you guys want me to separate from things that I've learned and from, you know, like what did happen. And I'm like, if there's things that you guys can show me, you know, like something that'll jog my memory because my brain's mush. Like it's very hard. And just this week alone, it's been very traumatic, even being back. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I've been stuck in confinement. I mean, I've literally, since I've been here for like the past 7 days, I've been out for like 2 hours.
Right. Okay.
2 hours off of the whole, like.
Yeah, because they have you in confinement.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then let's start here. Okay. Separate, you know, the difference between
trying to
experience what you've experienced, what you've talked to, what you've done, versus what you've heard from other people, or because those are two different kind of memories. When you experience something, you do it, you're involved in it, you're involved in the actions of it. That's a different kind of memory than something you just learn in a trial or you just read in a book.
Yes.
You understand the difference between those two? Okay. Let's talk about those experiences, not the memories of the things you've seen and learned, but the experiences you had that led up to this murder.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I want. And I need you to kind of walk us through it. I know you gave us a little more than that, and you said I've never talked about this, so it was kind of hard at the last one. So I need you to talk about that. Okay, so talk about those experiences. I know when you and Charlie started dating, we went through that timeline. Just walk me through those experiences, not the things that you remember reading.
Okay. Well, I mean, even reading stuff, it's like this is like things that like my attorney has like showed me. Like if she would show me like a text message, I'd be like, okay, I kind of, you know, I would remember.
Right, and I understand
the situation.
I'm not expecting you to remember text messages exactly what you've texted someone. I'm not expecting you to remember verbatim the conversation you had, but this is a pretty big deal, a pretty big situation. This isn't a normal thing for any normal person to go through, that it's significant enough that you can remember if you had a conversation about hiring somebody, if you've had a conversation about how much money, or if you were going to get paid, you were going to be taken care of. Those are things you can remember. You don't have to remember verbatim what happened, but how it happened, how it unfolded is what I want.
Okay. Well, that's where my whole dilemma has been because of the whole situation where I told you about that paper.
Mhm.
I don't know the facts that's in that paper. And that's why I've always wanted
Okay.
to.
But the conversation leading up to that paper, before we even got to that paper, there had to be some kind of understanding before that paper was put in an envelope and then, what was it, your diaper bag or something?
Yes.
Yeah, there had to be a conversation leading up to that.
Well, yeah, like,
Okay.
you know, where I told you
Right.
from Halloween, I think that's one of my first recollections of him even stating anything about hurting his brother-in-law, but that's not like what he stated, you know, like he was just saying that his sister's going through stuff and that his sister was going through stuff, and just this is like within weeks or maybe months of just him just talking about it, but not really, like there wasn't really anything happening at that point until he had given that paper and then
Okay.
obviously.
Before he gave you that paper, he had to know something, that you had something lined up or you could make something happen.
Well, that's what my whole confusion was, that like, why would he even like have trusted me with something like this? Or
You had to give him something to make him trust you. You had to.
Can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah. So it's been 6 minutes and we still have nothing of value. But
Absolutely nothing. This is so frustrating. I'm like, can you get to give us some meat? I also feel like the interrogator is talking more than Katie's talking.
yeah, because she should just do something open-ended. You know, this is her chance to talk. But, you know, Katie just keeps acting like she can't really remember anything. So it's so frustrating. But I think she was probably taking a bunch of drugs.
I was just about to ask you, does Katie have mental issues or memory issues? She herself said her brain was mush. So is there an explanation for that?
Well, she graduated from college, the same college as Charlie, UCF. And,
right.
you know, I mean, it sounded like she couldn't hold down a job, though. She did a bunch of different types of like medical office, dental office jobs, the bartending, real estate office. So, well, it sounds like Charlie loved to give Xanax. So people have said that long-term Xanax use can affect your memory.
Really? Okay. I didn't realize that. I mean, I'm just wondering if she's putting on, or if she really has no memory of what happened. That's kind of hard to believe. She's a young girl.
Yeah. Well, also Kawas said that she had COVID twice before her second trial. Yeah. So who knows? COVID fog?
That's interesting. Yeah. That's a possibility. Now, my other question was, who initiated this proffer? Because Katie seems to be confused why she's there.
I know. It seems so dumb because based on what the officer is saying, Christopher DeCoste first reached out to them and said he wants to make a proffer. Then it sounds like she did talk to Kawas also. So if she's the one initiating it, why is she whining about you know, being stuck in confinement? Oh no, it got brought here. Ooh, it's such an inconvenience.
Right.
So aggravating.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
okay.
Well, get some meat.
This is funny. I wouldn't let Katie bag my groceries, let alone be the go-between and a hit. Well, we're talking about Charlie here. Charlie's not the brightest light.
Put the eggs on the bottom of the bag.
Yeah. So she's talking to Officer Sherry Bennett, who's I'm pretty sure she's with Tallahassee Police Department, and she was also the person who interviewed June. So it's a police officer. What about this? Do you want to tackle this sort of legal question?
The attorneys bear some responsibility of bad legal advice by her refusing immunity. I just can't imagine why they'd agree to refuse that. I don't see Katie refusing it without encouragement. And that's from Carmy Girl. I mean, I think ultimately these decisions are the client's decisions.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can't imagine an attorney steering the client away from immunity. But for some reason, she decided to not take it. I don't know if somebody else was in her ear. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
What was the immunity in exchange for? Testifying against?
Yeah, testifying against Charlie or anyone else. Yeah.
Right.
Well, Katie later did say that first she didn't want to spill the beans because Sigfredo was facing the death penalty. So she would have to totally implicate him, the father of her children. But then even after he got convicted, she still wouldn't talk because I think she was probably too overconfident.
Yeah, there was that. I'm just wondering if somebody else wasn't in her ear promising her something on the back end. That's always a possibility. I mean, it's purely speculation, obviously.
It's just speculation because she didn't say it during her proffer. She didn't say that, oh, Charlie told me don't say anything.
Right.
My kids will be set for life. We'll keep getting 100,000 per year. Nothing.
And if that were to happen, at least she's smart enough to not mention that.
Yeah, but that's what's frustrating. Like she probably in her head still thought there's a hope that she's going to win her appeal. So she also didn't want to just spill the beans and
she wanted to
look like a bad person. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Different facility. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first place was just this very sterile looking meeting room with just like a tiny small table and concrete walls. So this location actually looks kind of nice. It looks like some executive conference room.
It does.
Yeah. So in terms of settings, I think this setting is definitely better than the first place. But she's still not talking fully. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, thank you. People chronically using Xanax have memory issues. I've seen this as an RN. Okay, thank you.
You need a prescription for Xanax, right?
Yes, yeah.
And
Charlie was probably her source. So, okay, you ready? Okay.
Yes.
Let's watch something.
Say something to make him think that you could make this happen for him.
Well, that's where like my concerns are too. Like my question, not concerns, but like my questions because of like, did he know about Sigfredo? Like, how much did he know about Sigfredo? I mean, I'm pretty sure I've spoken about Sigfredo, but like just to express like what I've been going through with him.
When we were down and Ocala and spoke to you, you said he put it in the bag and told you not to touch it, to give it to him.
Yeah.
Okay. So there had already been a conversation for him to know that you had with him, you had with Charlie.
Yes.
For him to know that you were going to be given this information and Sigfredo is going to be taking care of it. Get to that. That's the conversation I want to hear about.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like one specific probably conversation. It's through the times like, oh, do you know somebody that can do this?
Okay. Tell me details about all those different times. Best details you can remember.
That's what sticks out to my head is the Halloween. That's probably one of the ones that stick out when he mentioned that to me about
what did he mention?
About his sister having a hard time with her husband. And then from there, he probably mentioned, like, he's like, oh, I need somebody that, that can take care of this. And from there, like, he just probably kept talking about it. And then I don't ever remember saying specifically, oh, that, I have somebody for this, but not saying that it's Sigfredo.
Okay.
And I don't know when I had approached Sigfredo about it to tell him about it, but obviously I never said it was for Charlie.
Right. I understand that. You probably kept both of them in the dark as to who.
Yeah.
But the conversation of the planning of it, that what was going to happen. He says, I need you to take care of this, take care of something. I need you to find somebody to do this. Okay, what was he saying? Take care of. Like I know we discussed it.
Under my assumption at that time, it was, I mean, to beat up this guy that's giving his sister a hard time.
Okay.
Don't know when it transpired from that to him getting murdered. And that's why I was confused with the whole situation. And I don't know when I learned about him being murdered till later on.
So here's my thing. So a murder happened.
Yeah.
There is no communication between Sigfredo and Charlie. The only communication back and forth between them and Sigfredo, the Adelsons and Sigfredo, which is really Charlie, right, is you. Okay. So at some point, there's got to be a communication going through you to Sigfredo to let him know it's a murder. Charlie understood that that's what he wanted. Sigfredo understood that that's what he wanted. And you're saying you're the only in between of those two, and you're saying you don't understand that that's what they want. That's what,
because I didn't know what was like written in that paper. Like that's where like I'm confused about, and that's what I didn't know about, and that's why it's still like, and I know I get it. It's hard to understand it, but this is my whole dilemma of the whole situation since day one, because I'm not getting the answers, and I've been kept out of the loop too. But I am the go-between, and I am, like going back and forth with them. But you see even my confusions with my phone calls. It's not, I don't know details or anything about it.
Right. Okay. So after the murder, after we did the wiretap and all that stuff.
Yes.
You and Charlie met up multiple times. Last time we met, you would only tell us about the stuff that you knew we knew that was on recording. There was a couple conversations that you and Charlie met up and that you had that we know, because we had surveillance. We know that you guys had those conversations, and you have yet to tell us what happened in those. That's after the murder. That's after you know that Sigfredo's been arrested. That's after you know that the cat's out of the bag. You guys are discussing this. Okay. So at that point, tell me how that conversation went. Because at that point, Dan Markel is dead, because it's been 2 years past him being killed. Okay. He's already dead at that point. So you knew he was dead not long after it happened, when it all hit the news, I'm sure.
When it hit the news when Sigfredo got arrested?
I'm talking about after you knew Dan Markel was dead before Sigfredo got arrested.
I don't think I knew that he was dead until...
You went to Charlie's house the night that they got back and picked up the money to pay them and knew it was done. You told us that at Ocala.
Okay, this is... Because the bump was, 2 years...
Yeah, 2 years after. The bump was 2 years after. So I'm saying now we're at the bump. So you already knew. This is 2 years after. You know this man was killed. You know Sigfredo killed him for Charlie at this point. Whether you...
No, I didn't know that.
At that point, you know.
It was Sigfredo. I never knew that it was Sigfredo.
Well, Sigfredo and Luis, right? You knew the two of them.
I didn't know. That's the problem, that I never knew, because I gave that paper to Sigfredo. Under my assumption, I thought Sigfredo, that's why when during the trial and I'm seeing that he was up in Tallahassee and all of that, it's like, why would he be the one? I would think that he would just give it off to somebody else, or he never spoke to me about that. And that's why I was so adamant about wanting to speak to him, because I wanted answers myself, but that never happened.
Okay. So you mean to tell me that you had no clue that he came up to Tallahassee? I'm pretty sure there was a phone call that after they did it, I think, was it Ocala or Gainesville? Something like that. They stopped and they called and they had a phone call with you on the way back down to South Florida from Tallahassee right after the murder.
He never told me that he was going to Tallahassee. Sigfredo doesn't tell me these things. Like, he doesn't tell me where he goes, what he does. It's not even that it was this situation, but whenever he does anything, me and Sigfredo have always been in and out of each other's lives.
Right.
When it was good, like I told you, it was good. But when it was bad, like, I didn't care. I had 2 kids that I was taking care of. And that's what I'm saying. I don't have certain answers that I wish I had, or else this interview would be a lot easier and I would.
Judy.
Okay.
I don't know if I can watch this anymore. I'm just so, I'm up to here. She's talking so much and saying absolutely nothing. She has no credibility in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe whatever she's trying to get out of her mouth hole. It's like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, okay. Well, one point, giving Katie the benefit of the doubt. Okay. So maybe Charlie was super sneaky because we know he's a sneaky, devious person that, perhaps he didn't tell her that it was to kill Dan Markel. Maybe he didn't tell her who specifically Sigfredo is supposed to kill.
So do you think the specific instructions were in the note that she didn't look at?
Yeah, potentially.
How many of you guys believe that? I mean, come on. I know I'm nosy, but
Mhm.
if somebody gives you a note, are you not going to look at it?
in a sealed big manila envelope? It's like, here, do this.
Give
Give
me
this
a
to
break.
Sigfredo, and
Give me
you'll
a
get
break.
$100,000 or 130 something thousand.
Yeah, that just
Okay. Yeah,
mm-mm.
because I'm sure like she and Charlie were so close. They're like peas in a pod, the way they talk to each other, that I'm sure Katie would have asked him tons of questions. Like, what are you talking about? How much money am I going to get? Let
What
me
is
try
this
to talk
for?
Sigfredo into it. Yeah. So, and then all this stuff about Sigfredo, that's definitely a lie because of the phone calls that they had during the Tallahassee trip. So
Right.
how can she claim
They
she
were
didn't-
calling her, right? They were calling her to let her
Yeah,
know
Sigfredo called
kind of
her.
the status.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
did she say that she knew something at some point?
Well,
Who said
I
that
don't
they
know. I don't
knew?
know what she's trying to say. She's acting like she didn't even know what was going on. She didn't know Sigfredo was going to Tallahassee. They're in and out of each other's lives, and she's busy with the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just totally against what actual evidence we have seen. So
And it's
okay.
just not believable. So
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of behind on the comments here. Why wouldn't the family push her to flip on Charlie? Why would they want to throw another $1 million after the first? I don't know. Maybe she just kept lying to her family too, and just kept saying, "I don't know what they're talking about. They're framing me. I didn't have anything to do with this." Yeah, because she screwed up herself too. So I'm sure she was lying to her family.
right, because she was involved. Yeah, she's in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure she wanted to come off as, being innocent as well.
Yeah. Okay. Why did the state accept Katie's proffer to lock Charlie into the payment? Well, I think overall, since we haven't watched the whole thing, I think overall she did say some things that were helpful to the state. So Georgia had to put her on the stand to rebut Charlie's pack of lies. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, she did present better on the stand, and Georgia was really good at just tailoring the questions to
Narrowing it down.
ones that she knew Katie could say good things about instead of just saying, "Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember."
Yeah, like some other people. She had to pick and choose what nuggets of information Katie was to give.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is a big question. We don't know for sure. How did Lewis and Sigfredo know it was windy? So Lewis was just depending on what Sigfredo told him. So we don't know because Sigfredo has never spoken before. He's stuck in prison. He's not talking. So maybe it was stuff that was written on the note, or maybe Katie told him.
Does Sigfredo have a life sentence?
Yes. And he lost his appeal.
So why would he talk?
I don't know. I mean, because maybe he's like Katie. He did tons of drugs, like hard drugs.
Yeah.
Drinking tons. So yeah, he's probably just so screwed up that he can't remember. So yeah. Okay. How do we know? Yeah, we don't know because Katie could be lying. We don't know. How do we know? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. I mean, Donna could have found some other like third party means to be paying the money. So,
Do you think that that's something that they're going to look into? Prosecution?
at this point, I don't think the prosecution really cares because what different, like, that's not going to help them convict. Well, I mean, if there's a way to prove that Donna was the source of paying Katie's attorney's funds, or I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
if the state could have found that out, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's plenty of evidence against Donna already. Maybe they don't need to go there.
Yeah, the attorney's fee issue is kind of tangential to
Right.
Donna's murder case. Yeah. Okay, let's go on then, because we're running out of time already. Okay.
Be able to provide you guys with the information that you need.
Okay. All right, then how did you know to go to Charlie's house to pick up the money? That's what those are the things that we kind of need. How did you know to go to Charlie's house to pick up the money that night? How did you know that?
Well, Charlie called me to have like dinner with him or meet up with him that night.
Okay. But how Charlie wouldn't know without somehow Sigfredo, whether you knew it was Sigfredo that did it or not, somehow Sigfredo had to reach out to you because neither one of him nor Charlie had any communication with each other.
We already had this conversation. You went and met with Sigfredo when he got back, and then you went to Charlie's house. The cell phone records show you go up there and meet with him and Lewis.
Okay, if I met up
already had
with
this conversation, and you still deny it.
I'm not. It's not that I'm denying the situation.
Yeah. All right, hang on a second. Let's step out.
This is nowhere.
I feel like I can just see the wheels in her brain turning. Like, how do I explain this?
Are there wheels in her brain? I don't know.
Rusty? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how long is Pat Sanford was also in there. At the first meeting, he walked out because she was just being so stupid and confusing.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I wonder how long this break is. Let's see. Maybe I should speed it up.
Forward, yeah.
Okay. Speed it up. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about it that way, that there was a coincidence that Wendy started dating Jeff around then also. Okay. Oh. Why would she talk about Sigfredo now when she could have cut her prison time? Well. Well, maybe it gave them hope that there was at least one juror who voted not to convict. Yeah, I think it could help the case, if they had real proof that Donna Harvey or Wendy had something to do with paying her attorney's fees. Because why would they even
Yeah.
offer to do that if they had no involvement?
Right. What's the incentive?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Charlie was just full of bravado. Yeah, who knows? They haven't found the paper trail. What are the chances Katie gets a better deal offered somewhere down the line? Well, there was one attorney commenter who said it could be kind of like a wink wink type of nod with no deal until after she's done fully testifying. So yeah, who knows? It didn't seem like the state was too keen on
Probably not likely.
doing her any favors. Yeah, that's right. Just like Charlie kept telling June, just don't say anything to the police. You don't know anything.
Yep.
Okay.
She's trying to protect. No?
Yeah, they did try to do a lot of planning. Any burner phones put in evidence? Most of the wiretaps were on the regular lines. Yeah, that's right. I don't know about burner phones. Oh, yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Charlie said on the state he was getting relationship advice on that 18-minute call with Wendy.
From Wendy? I don't know if you want to take that advice anyway.
Yeah, that was just totally unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they might have given her cash.
Yes, they were a cash family.
Yeah. Yeah, Katie and Jeff were both used by them.
Sorry. Do you mind? I don't know if this can be done, but if I could speak to Jason really quick right now, please.
Okay. So she wants to get
I
something.
feel like I'm about to thing right now.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try to just jump ahead because I watched this so long ago that I can't remember how long this break was. Okay, maybe she's talking now.
Minimizing it or putting it as a.
I think that's the thing. I don't want to downplay it or anything, but I just don't want to wait.
You've watched this for 6 years now. At this point, you've seen it. You've talked to everybody. We've tried this case twice, and Sherry went through the whole separating what you see and what you did and what you know or what you learned. When there's things that we can put you in a place, or we can put you on a phone call, or we can put you in a situation. Don't minimize it as, I guess I was doing this. Tell what it was. Just talk about what was going on.
But that's where my problem is that okay, now he's like, oh, we already spoke about this. Okay, but it's like at this point I'm here well, I wish that is there any way where it's you can kind of show me that I'm we could talk about it more. This is how I discuss things when I'm
showing you. I mean, we could probably go through the years and tell you in 2014 this phone call occurred, or this meeting occurred, this situation occurred. Instead of, well, I guess that's what this was. That's when this occurred. That's what we're looking for from you, not not you guessing that makes sense or making it fit for us. If we ask you a specific question, just give the direct answer.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to let Sherry come in here, so it's not an intimidating situation. I'm just going to let her talk to you for a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Wasn't Father's Day usually sometime in mid-June? Yeah. Mid-June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're worth much more than that. Yeah, that's what people said. Was that is that DeCoste was in the same building as Charlie's lawyer at the time? I think.
In
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Wendy is really trying to be connected to this. So I'd be surprised if she were leaving.
Trying to distance herself as much as possible.
Yeah.
All right, Katie. Let's you and me just talk.
Yeah.
You feel more comfortable with that?
Yeah, it's just,
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And like I said, it's
I know.
a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
I get that.
It's very like intimidating, and I just don't want to upset anybody anymore, and I just want to get this over with already.
Right.
I keep having to relive this over and over and over.
This is that one decision you make that shaped your whole life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You know, we don't want to have to keep coming back and talking to you. We're not
Believe
gonna.
me, and I don't want to keep coming
Okay.
back. Yeah.
But what we do want is we want the truth,
Yes, ma'am.
no matter what, the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
So going forward, let's just start from the beginning, like we tried just a minute ago.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have just me in here at this point, so hopefully it's a little more comfortable for you. Okay, start from the beginning. I know y'all started dating, and you had told us previously when we came to Ocala that he almost immediately was constantly venting to you about his sister's issues.
Yes.
Okay, walk me through all that again.
Well, yeah, like that's why that's a lot of the situation where it's, you know, I even questioned you guys, like, why would he have trusted me and why is he telling me all of this? But, you know, he's been looking for somebody for a long time already.
Right.
But that's not how he played it out to me in the beginning. He's just talking about that his sister is going through it with her husband, and that, you know, his parents have been going through it too. Like this man has been very stressful to their life.
Right.
So, and that's a specific time that I remember was Halloween. And I didn't even remember that till way later on
Right.
when I was talking to Chris. And I was like, that was like a significant moment where I could remember him asking about, like, oh, would I know somebody that could potentially harm this person? And I was like, you know, okay, yeah. But never saying anything about Sigfredo or whatever, because I haven't even mentioned, obviously, to
Right.
Sigfredo anything about it.
Right. Okay. And I get that. And I fully believe that you didn't share the names of who you were
Yeah.
having everybody do it for. I understand that completely. And I get why you would keep that separate.
Yeah.
Those are two people in your life that, especially Sigfredo being the father of your children. So I get that. So if we have that separate,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
understand that you didn't tell him it was Sigfredo. You didn't tell Sigfredo it was for Charlie.
Yes, ma'am.
I understood that. So we got that cleared up.
Yes, ma'am.
So just going through and talking, let's go through the fact that, so Halloween is the mark that really sticks in your head, right?
And that was 2013. So that was
2013.
very, like, that was, like, I mean, I must have met this man, like, for the past, like, 2-3 weeks. Like,
Yeah,
wasn't
you
even
just
that long.
met him.
I just started
Okay.
working in Sophie Dental. So
Okay.
it was fairly new.
Okay. So 2013, of October 2013, Halloween party
Yes, ma'am.
you guys are at. He said potentially harm this man.
Yes, ma'am.
At what point was the understanding that it was going to be more than just hurting him?
For him, or
Yes.
or like for
For-
my understanding.
For you, because at some point you knew.
That's
He
where,
didn't straight out say it, but it was an
Yes.
understanding.
yeah.
At what point was it the understanding that that's what was happening?
That's probably not even until later on, and
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, just
honestly,
walk
like,
me to that
recall.
part.
Okay.
So walk me through. So you tell him at the Halloween party,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I got someone that can take care of this for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then, so at that point, he starts probably making the moves and trying to, you guys start having conversations and making it roll.
Yeah.
I understand you're still not telling him it's Sigfredo. He has no
Yes.
clue about that. So start me from there, from the Halloween party. After you tell him yes, how does it start evolving into what it turned out to?
I'm pretty sure he just kept mentioning, like, you know, I mean, do you know somebody? And I just kept saying, yeah, but never having, I don't know when I went to Sigfredo and told him, I was like, hey, like, you know, I need you to, like, have this done, like, get somebody beat up, but not him. Like, that's why it's never
Right.
my understanding, because Sigfredo, it's like,
You
I
expect
would
him
tell
to get
him,
somebody.
yes,
to do
of
it.
course, yeah, like, So, I mean, and like I said, it was just to harm this person, I guess, to get him, you know, it's not to that point, because like I said, like, it's not like he straight off told me that he wanted this person to die or get murdered, or else I would have been like, why is this, you know, it's why are you even asking me this, and why is it that this is happening? But with Charlie, he just tends to, he got in my head and he just kept saying it over and over and over. And I, like I said, like I didn't really react to it that fast or whatever. And I don't know how long of a span it was until I was like, oh, okay, you know, that I mentioned it to Sigfredo. I don't remember.
Okay. All right. So it took a while before you mentioned it to Sigfredo.
Yeah.
Because you thought I know you said before.
He probably was just like
talking,
playing around.
But
or,
he kept
yeah,
on. He kept coming to you. After you said, yes, you have someone, he kept coming to you. Coming to you. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So he kept coming to you. And you said later on, it was at some point later that you realized that he was meaning kill this man instead of harm him.
But that's where I'm kind of confused with the time frame, because unless like I'm just not wanting to just wrap my head around like that somebody's telling me, you know, to harm somebody, but it's when did it transpire from him getting beat up to him getting murdered?
Did he ever say he wanted him beat up, or he just said he wants him taken care of? That was his exact words, was taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay. So he wants him taken care of, and you said your understanding of that initially was that he wanted him just beat up.
Yeah.
Okay. At
And
what point did your own understanding of it, like it was before Sigfredo did what he did, even though you didn't know it was Sigfredo doing it, you thought he was hiring someone. It was before Dan Markel died. Somewhere you understood that it was.
Somewhere around that time, it had to have transpired to him getting taken care of, so that he's not in the life of Wendy anymore, or their, you know, for their life. He is dead. Yes.
Okay. So before the murder happened, you had an understanding that he was going to die.
That's what I mean.
I know he didn't tell you specifically.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm trying. That's the part I need. So I need you to try to focus on that part. I know he didn't say those exact words, but there was a mutual understanding. You knew that before the murder happened, you knew that this man was going to be killed.
I guess so. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't understand.
I guess
like, it's hard for me to like not like admit to that situation, but it's like, when did that happen, and why was, you know, like for me to like
it's hard words
agree
to hear.
with that.
It's hard words to hear, and you're probably beating yourself up. You're like, how did I know this was going to happen? Because you knew. How'd you know this was going to happen? And then you still pushed forward and allowed it to happen, and was that middle person. I think that's the part that you're battling yourself with.
Yes.
Okay, we got to get past the battling yourself, because right now we're in a position where we're trying, you know, you're convicted, you're where you are, but we're trying to see what you can get out of this, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But we want nothing but the truth, and they're not, you know, they're not making any promises. They're not doing anything for you.
I completely understand.
You're not giving them anything to even make them want to even think about doing that, okay? All we need is the truth, because at this point, it's about clearing your conscience too, right?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a big part of it. You don't want, you know, when your kids look at
it's the whole it's confusing, and I've suppressed it, and like I said, like I've been in this battle mode of going through the first trial. It was Fredo, and then another trial, which I never wanted to go through that other trial. That's why, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys heard that conversation that I had with Sigfredo, that it's like,
you just want to be done with it.
I just want to be done with it, and I just want him to come forth with it.
Right.
And that's why I was so adamant about wanting to speak to him, because he kept a lot of things from me, and me learning a lot of things that's happening.
But aside from him keeping from what he did and how he did, we're wanting to hear from you, your part of it, and how that middle man thing works. Okay, because you are that one person that went from Charlie to Sigfredo.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at some point you understood that murder was going to happen.
Yes,
okay. Okay.
That was
before it happened.
I believe so.
I believe so too.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen. Now in your head, maybe you weren't fully processing it. That's okay, but you knew. Okay.
Yes,
when you knew that, you also knew that
It's
there was going to,
terrible.
it is, but we got to get past that. Okay. There's nobody in here is judging you. Okay. I'm not here judging
I've
you.
already been judged.
I know
Yeah.
you have, but I feel like that's what you're thinking. You're holding back and you feel like, because it's hard to say out loud that I did this, that I did something.
That I had an involvement.
You had
with
involvement
it, yes.
in something so
Tragic.
yeah, exactly. That a man lost his life. It's hard to say that out loud. Okay, put that aside. It's just me and you and this deputy in here. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, put that aside. We just need the facts of it
Yes,
at this point. Okay, so I understand it's hard to say, but we got to say it.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's get to that point. Let's get you knew it was going to happen. Then there was an understanding at some point that about payment and how we got to all of that. Let's start through that. Let's go from, okay, you had the Halloween party.
Okay.
You told him at that point. You told him once you told him yes, he's keeping on you. He keeps
Yeah.
bringing it up. He's not letting it go. You're like, okay, this man's serious. Then at some point you talk to Sigfredo. It wasn't immediate.
Yes.
Okay, Sigfredo, you have him. You're understanding he's going to get someone to take care of it, but he was going to do that part.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're going back to Charlie. Okay, I got somebody for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now go from there. You tell Charlie I got somebody. Where does the discussion about payment happen? Where does the discussion like I said, I understand he didn't tell you I want this man killed,
Yes.
but at some point you understood that that's what he wanted. So let's get from the payment and how that discussion happened and what it was for.
Well, the payment wasn't ever directly discussed. Obviously, he was gonna pay for the situation to occur, but as far as how much it was or whatever, he never said it.
So there
Just
was no
said it was going to be
flat-
taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be taken care of.
Okay.
Okay, obviously there's I just told Sigfredo, you're going to get paid for this. So which obviously he he's not going to do something
Would be
without
get money, yeah.
exactly. And at that time, like I said, me and him were going through a rough patch back and forth, and then financially too, because you see how many jobs that I had to take. So
yeah.
I think that was another initiative of why Charlie got in my head about well, you get money for this, you won't have to worry about things so.
And
That
I
was
understand
an
why you believe that.
advantage. Yeah.
Because he's already showing you this lifestyle. You were dating him briefly, and he's already showing you.
I
He's very
actually
flashy.
did not know how much,
Like how much he has.
he had. Yeah.
But he does talk like he has a lot of money.
Yes, of course.
Right.
He.
A lot of people in down the South do that.
Exactly.
Whether they have it or not.
Yeah. It's the talk. It's him. He was not a flashy person, but he lived well off.
Right.
And at that time, like I said, we were struggling. I'm working multiple jobs. I just broke up with Sigfredo a couple months before that. He didn't have a job. I'm pretty sure he was doing his thing,
Right.
trying to make money, whatever it was, which
Right.
he's
We
always
understand
kept
what
away
we
from.
understand
Exactly.
what he was doing.
Yeah.
Okay. We understand how he was doing. That's neither here nor there. We
Yes.
don't care about that
Yes.
here. So you're struggling. You're a single mom. Dad's doing what he can to make money, but he ain't. You're really supporting your kids.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's happening.
Yeah.
You meet Charlie. You start dating Charlie. He's whining and
we're
dining.
we're hanging out.
I know
we're
not
having
like
a good
official
time.
boyfriend girlfriend, but you're dating, going out on dates,
Yeah.
going out with each other, doing things like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that happens. Then at some point he's comfortable enough to from the beginning, I think he said he was venting about his sister's ex or his sister's husband.
I guess things were occurring as
Mhm.
as that's happening. Like I said, now time frame wise, I see that there was a lot of things going on, and I guess that's why he's feeling pressured to pressure me
Right.
of getting this done because of
there was a lot of court stuff going on.
exactly, which like I said, I learned from. He never discussed anything to me about what Wendy was going through.
Right.
But
he just told you she's having a hard time.
she's having a hard time. His parents weren't his mom especially wasn't sleeping well, and just a lot of hardship on his family.
Right.
So he's painting a very bad picture of this guy to me, obviously.
Right.
So I guess that's why my
So in
conscience
your mind, this is
wasn't.
a bad man that's putting
Yes.
the strain on this nice family that you just met, and all this stuff, and he's wanting your help and you're wanting to help him.
Exactly.
Is that a good
yeah, that's a
estimate of
good
what your mental state was?
yeah, because I mean he knows how to get it to my head where it's obviously he was making it seem like he was the worst of the worst. Like this man was the worst of the worst. He's put, I mean, from what my understanding from meeting his parents and meeting his sister, they were good people,
Right.
you know. So
you're just thinking there's this evil guy really in your mind
that
putting
he
them
was
through turmoil.
Exactly, like
Okay.
putting the whole family into
Right.
a bad situation.
Okay. So then, Charlie, you agree? Let's get.
Okay.
I
So
want to get
this
past that
is
now. We keep going back to the Halloween thing. That's a good thing because that's a point. That's a date in your head that we can pinpoint. Okay. Now we got that pinpoint.
Okay, so-
I want to go forward from that up to. Okay. He never said the exact dollar amount. I got that. Okay.
Okay. Wow. So it's been like an hour and we've barely gotten any snippets of real concrete info from her. Yeah.
Of course. I kind of feel like it's part therapy session, part let me tell you different scenarios and then parrot it back to me.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I know the police officers do have, or investigators, they have to walk a fine line between feeding info versus jogging memory.
Right.
So,
but the fact that she completely flipped on her information, saying initially that she didn't think that it was a murder that Charlie wanted, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I knew it was a murder that Charlie wanted. I mean, that's a 180. So,
yeah. Well, but the question is, you know, they asked her, well, when did it start changing to become murder? And she still couldn't remember. It's like you can't remember any conversations with Charlie about that. It's
right.
just so frustrating. Yeah.
I think part of the frustrating part is like we're rational people, right? And we're trying to fit her into a rational, common sense box, and she's just not going to fit there. I mean, Charlie is telling her that Dan Markel is a horrible person and is causing the family so much stress, but not actually telling her why. Like he's not, she said he's not giving examples of what Markel was doing. So she just ran with that, saying, you know, him saying he's just a bad man and she wanting to help the family out.
There's got to be more to it. Yeah, because any rational person isn't going to be like, oh, there's some bad guy causing your sister problems. Let me get my baby daddy to go and kill him.
Right, right.
And we don't even know how much money we're going to get.
Of course. We just know we're going to be taken care of, but we don't know how much it is. Yeah, it's really a stretch. It's really a stretch. And I don't think anybody's buying it.
Yeah. So Sunny is here. She attended the trial and we got to meet in person then. So it's great to see you here, Sunny. Yeah, totally agree. The interviewer kind of talked over her at times.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Why would they agree to a murder and not negotiate a price? What if Charlie gave them 15? Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're going to be doing such a horrible thing to kill off somebody, of course you're going to want to make sure, you know, how much is it going to be worth?
How much is it going to cost? Are my expenses going to be covered? Do I need to submit a reimbursement form?
When are you going to give me the payment? Is it going to be in cash? You know?
Exactly.
Like when we get paid, you got to give us something so we know that it's for real.
Right. But then those are rational, common sense thoughts. We can't attribute those thoughts to people who, you know, do hits. So I don't know.
Yeah. Bennett is acting like she's having a conversation in the cafeteria of a high school with Katie. Yeah. Well, I guess she, maybe the officer felt she had to dumb it down and be casual to get Katie to open up, maybe.
Yeah. Be relatable.
Yeah. Okay. I feel bad, Katie, being manipulated by Charlie. Yeah. That's the way they operated, it seems. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's address some comments. Do you need to go now?
No, I have a few more minutes.
Okay, thank you.
We were
Struggling, needed money. So I talked Sigfredo into killing someone. Katie wanted money, definitely.
Right.
I'd be all for trading Charlie for Wendy. Yeah. Well, too bad. Katie didn't really have much to say against
About
me.
Wendy. Yeah. I just want to know what happened on the beach that day. What kind of discussion she had or they had together.
And possibly more conversations they could have had
afterwards, right?
Charlie might have stapled the money. Well, it could be, but we do have multiple people saying that Charlie had that habit too of stapling the cash. Lewis said Katie told Sigfredo they'd get back together if he.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because she seemed to manipulate Sigfredo also.
Sigfredo did it for love.
Yeah.
How romantic.
Yeah. More than what Katie made in a year. Yeah, possibly. But, like she did have a college degree in something to do with like medical administration. So you would think that there are some office managers who really make pretty good money. So if she had done a better job, she could have legitimately got some good income. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Graduated from college. She's not as dumb. Well, it seems like everybody's going to college these days. So I wouldn't say for sure just because you have a college degree doesn't mean you have any real common sense. Or
there's book knowledge, there's street knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. They needed a professional to get, well, I guess they thought they had professionals. They had Agent Sanford, Officer Bennett, Jason Hewlin, who's an investigator. Yeah. Okay, when did the new boobs appear? Yeah, she got her boob job or breast augmentation October 2014 with Dr. Rudner, aka Dr. Boobner. So the investigators found that out when they saw her Facebook or social media pictures where she obviously had gotten the augmentation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was it September? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was October. It was sometime around then.
She didn't wait long.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, I think I probably do have to get going due to work and everything. So thank you guys for being here. Gotta go see the doctor soon. So that's good. Yeah. So always a good thing if you're trying to be on YouTube to be able to talk. So, okay, what about this? Why didn't her lawyers prep her for these meetings? Point out areas of info that might be useful. You would think they did.
Was her counsel there in the room? Do we know?
No, they weren't. But she talked to them on the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
I have a feeling it's probably because she ran out of money. So do you think so?
That's one reason. Yeah. Why would they be working for free? They don't work for free. So
yeah.
And
it sounds like they did give her some sort of discount with the representation. So it's probably got to do with the dollars. So
the payments, yeah.
If they had money, they would have been up there.
Right.
Yeah. Who would believe that only honest person would do the Latin Kingdom? Yeah, I thought he presented well.
Yes, he was credible. He did seem credible, almost likable. She's still wanting to see another person.
Okay. Well, do you have any closing remarks you'd like to give? You can sell your channel too. Those
are the closing remarks. I hope to, see some of your wonderful viewers on my channel. Thank you so much, Judy, for the invitation. I had a lot of fun doing this. And you know, it's a fun journey, you know, making these videos, and there's a lot of support for Dan Markel out there. I called it Justice for Dan Markel, Down with the Adelsons movement. So hopefully, you know, things will go the way that we anticipate them going. And, you know, it's hard because there's so many people who were impacted by the actions of, you know, all the different actors and players. So, you know, just hope for peace for the family and for the kids involved.
Thank you. By the way, how did you even hear about Dan Markel?
I couldn't even tell you. I'm sure I came across it on YouTube.
Oh,
At the time, I don't recall hearing about this case at the time that it was that it happened, that he passed away. I don't recall hearing it then. So yeah, sometime in the last year or two, on YouTube, I came across it.
That's great.
For all everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I hope you'll continue to cover the case too. You have a unique perspective since you're right there in Southern Florida.
Thanks.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas, or any of your viewers have any ideas for you know, videos that you'd like to see, let me know. I'm open.
Sure. Well, you know, Joel from Surviving the Survivor, he went on a tour to all the places.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Law Belt V also did that. But you
Yes.
can still do it too. Just because other people did it doesn't mean you can't do it too.
You think so? I don't know. I'm waiting to see if Whale Harbor will go up for sale, or any of the other properties that are involved with, you know, the Adelsons will go up for sale. I'm looking forward to reading the appellate briefs. I'm looking forward. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to with this case.
Oh,
And of course, Donna's trial, and
Yes.
Anything dealing with Wendy, what happens with her. It's like we're on the edge of our seats waiting to see what's going to happen.
Are you planning to go to the trial?
I wasn't planning on going to the trial. Tallahassee, that's pretty far. And between you and me and all the viewers, that's not my kind of town.
Oh, okay. I thought it was okay. Yeah, but I'm definitely going to the trial. Come hell or high water, I'm gonna buy a plane ticket. Yes, because I did it for Charlie's trial. So that's how crazy I am. I mean, this case really means a lot to me.
Right.
You know, I have some mutual friends and acquaintances with Dan Markel. Gotten to know his mom. So I do feel kind of like drawn to go there.
Right.
For it.
I mean, I could maybe be convinced to go, but as of right now, I'm not planning on it. But we'll see. You know.
Okay. Cool.
It would be really nice to do a meetup or something. That would be fun.
Definitely. Do you feel like answering this question?
What kind of law do I practice? Oh, Lord, I've been through multiple areas of the law in my career. Next year, I'm actually 20 years into practicing law. And my most recent position was as a co-founder and general counsel for a health technology company. And I was with that company doing general counsel, everything, you know, when you're general counsel, and when you're in a startup, you wear like 10 different hats. So I was with them for the past 8 years. And I recently left that position to take a sabbatical of sorts and enjoy life and take a break and do YouTube. I'm just kidding.
Well, Debbie says she'll drive with you because I think she probably lives not too far from here. So.
Oh, really? A road partner would be really fun.
Okay, well, if you guys are serious, we'll put you guys in touch later. So, but that's funny. Thank you.
Fun. Yeah. It's funny driving around, seeing the different places, even like where Katie was arrested. I think she was arrested at a shopping mall very close to where I live.
Oh,
There's a Trader Joe's in there. That's my closest Trader Joe's. So that's where we go. But yeah, I mean, everything is sort of, 20-minute drive sort of.
mhm.
So yeah, maybe I'll do
Okay,
a
that's
ride.
cool. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for joining in. I got to get ready to go to the doctors and hopefully get something figured out. So we'll be in touch then. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time.
Thanks for having me, Judy, and best of luck at the
Thank you.
doctors. All right.
Take care.